Ahoy! How are you? Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, apparently I'm supposed to go, please like, share and subscribe. Every 2 seconds. The wife won't let me buy a PlayStation. Like, share and subscribe. Need the money. You don't have to. We have to say that, apparently. For the algorithms. I wonder if you just put that, like, share and subscribe in the YouTube or tags in the podcast section. It gets promoted a little bit more. I don't know. Anyway, the king has been crowned. Huzzah. Quite a few people whinging about that. Quite a few people arrested for holding up a piece of paper. Blank piece of paper. Apparently, I don't know. Because we have King Charles III. King Charles II. People from outside of the UK always want to know, where was he executed? Well, it was sort of in between the shoulders and the neck. But King Charles III has been crowned. Didn't watch the concert. Barely watched the actual ceremony because I was watching it on my phone on YouTube for one of the services. So when the Queen was crowned, Queen Elizabeth II, not many people at the time, 70 years ago, probably more than that, I don't know, but 70 years ago, not everyone had a television in their house. It was like one per street, so everyone had to cram around the one street and watch the crowning. Whereas me, I watched it on YouTube on my tiny little crappy phone. But as I was saying, lots of people whinging about it and, wow, having a bit of a shouty match. It's like, you got an extra day off work. Well, those who have got a job to go back to after being arrested at the weekend for protesting against the king. But for those who are whinging about it, you know, you got an extra day off from it. You know, why don't you just enjoy it? You know, stop the whinging, stop the flapping, and just get on with it. And I wonder how many people are using the hashtag #NotMyKing. I ain't bothered either way, to be honest. But how many people are using the hashtag #NotMyKing around Christmas Day? We're telling everyone to shut up. They want to listen to the King's speech. The first one. But for those who don't know, the King or Queen, whoever's in charge of the monarchy, does a little speech to the nation on Christmas Day. Every Christmas. And it has been sort of, well, normally, to be honest, I would say me and the in-laws were normally too drunk to catch it, or someone's broken summit, or someone's having an argument. So we don't normally get round to watch it, but this time it was, for, well, last Christmas. I gave you my heart the very next day. You said you was gay. Went through to the king and said, no, I want to listen to the speech. I want to listen to the speech. Then all of a sudden went, nah. Not my king. He's not the rightful king. Should be Diana. I don't know. You can't win. Can't win. Right, Birmingham city centre. Well, Birmingham and the surrounding areas. Anywhere in the Birmingham Council area. It's generally not a nice place to get to. And I used to live in such areas, and I'm glad I got out because it's not very nice. Not a nice area to live. If I'm honest. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. The council, which people have paid their taxes, for those who can, who pay their taxes, yeah, have to put in their council tax money. They pay the council tax money from their salary, which they are taxed. And if they have a car, don't start me on this rant, have to pay for the fuel, which they are taxed. And for the road tax, they have to pay tax. For everything, they are taxed. Every vehicle, for driving to Birmingham. So anyway, you get me points to where people in Birmingham, those who do, have to pay a fair bit of tax. And where has some of that tax money gone to for Birmingham City Council? They've been put into signs that are spread all around the region that say, fill your street with friendliness. Or it could be our street, I don't know it from memory. It's one of them signs that is supposed to uplift you, make you feel proud of where you're from. Sorry. Well, it should say is welcome to Birmingham, lock your car doors. That's what it should say. But it says fill your streets with friendliness. Some fucker's paying for that. That's not on. Who's paying for that? The cats. The taxpayer. Why to be told to be nice to each other? Things that bad in Birmingham? Yeah, they are. Things are that bad in Birmingham, they have to tell you. Some elected official or some arsehole who works in marketing. Oh, I know, we'll do this. Fill your streets with friendliness signs. That'll make everyone be a bit more polite to each other. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, someone's paid for that. Someone has fucking paid for that. Someone gave that a go ahead. Someone, all right, fair play to them, in the printing place where they get them, these signs get printed, got paid for printing them signs. And even they thought, the fuck is this? I don't know. I'm not paid to think. I'm just paid to print. Got paid for that. Someone had to go around putting these signs up. Fill your streets with friendliness. Fuck off. Have you been to Birmingham? You get fucking... Oh, it's horrible. I hate going to the city centre. I used to work there for many years and I fucking hated it in the city centre. Fill your streets with friendliness. You're having a fucking laugh, ain't you? Fill the streets full of homeless drug users, I know that. There's one outside every fucking supermarket asking for change. I need my money to get shit-faced myself and for a PlayStation that I'm not allowed to buy. Like, share, subscribe. Fill your streets with friendliness, fuck off. But once upon a time, round the corner, there was a park around the corner from where I used to live, which was epic. It was brilliant. It was a fantastic sign. Lots of dog walkers going around just letting their dogs shit in a car park. Well, actually, all over the park, never mind a car park. There was shit in the car park. Shit on every car park I've been on. But there was mainly shit all over this lovely green park. And people walking along in their best designer gear. And their designer shoes, and they were getting shit on them. And they had a picture of a dog looking really sad with a deer stalker hat. That's the Sherlock Holmes hat. That will link up to this next bit for those who don't know what a deer stalker hat is. That basically says, no shit, Sherlock, clean your dog mess up or face a £80 fine. Now, that upset quite a few people, that particular sign. And I thought it was brilliant and got to the point. Clean your dog shit up. Or what's worse, don't just pick it up in a plastic bag and just throw it anywhere. So that's even worse. But that got the message a point, but quite a few dog owners, I'm going to make a complaint to the council. I'm highly offended by that. Why are you offended by something that's something you should be doing anyway with your dogs? I know someone who's getting a dog, and I've told him, are you looking forward to having a nice hand warmer at Christmas? With your doggy bags, filling them up? I've looked at the breed and I'm like, I have no idea. It's a little furry thing. I don't know. Got 4 legs and a tail and it barks. And it shits as well. That's what it does. Shits in the corner. It'll shit and piss. It'll bark at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's so cute and it'd be so good to put it into the gram photos on. I have no idea what this dog is. Well, I know it's a dog, but the breed, not a clue. But it's not one of these fashion dogs, which is your French Bulldog and the Sausage Dog. Sausage Dog is overtaking the French Bulldog, apparently. You know, there's a breed of dog that becomes trendy every now and again. But these ones who have got their little chihuahuas, them little aggressive little fuckers. Jesus. But I was walking past this one car with all the windows wide open. This is in a bit of a shitty area. One of those shitty areas where they've got a sign that says, fill your streets with friendliness. And it had a husky, and I've never seen such an angry looking dog. And I thought, no one is going to get near that car. The angriest looking dog I've ever seen in my fucking life. I wasn't barking or anything, it was just doing that dirty stare saying, come near me and I shall have you for breakfast. And then I'll be shitting in the park. Your remains. My owner will receive an £80 fine or complain to the council. Or you will end up with a piece of poo in a plastic bag that will just be thrown into the park and there it'll be there for another 300 years before it is discovered by the council clean-up team. pretty much. But yeah, people are getting dogs. I ain't getting a dog because poor thing's going to be left on its own all day. No point. I'll get a rescue dog if anything. But even they're a pain in the arse to get hold of, because the person, I don't want to say too much, but the person who was getting the dog was going down that route, an absolute fair play. But it was just a bit tricky because the dog has to have specific needs that they couldn't cope with. No, I wouldn't say cope with. I couldn't attend to. I think that's the correct word, attend to. For one reason or another, nothing out of the ranks. Needs to be sort of looked after 24/7 and no children around. This person has children, you see. It's like good for the little dog. Not just for Christmas. So yeah, they've gone to a breeder now, hopefully a proper licensed one and all done properly. So much they've got the dog, but they can't pick it up because it can't be away from its mother, biatch, for a couple of weeks. So I presume that's all good. I haven't got a clue, but I suspect it's got to be good because when my wife saw the picture of what dog they're having, the heaven dog, the dog's going to heaven. Da-da-da-da. Scar band, if anyone don't know, bomb scare. The dog that they're having, there was such a high pitch when my wife saw the photo from it, so it's got to be cute and cuddly. But I always say, if you get a dog, get one that will scare burglars or people who are trying to rob your house. That's what you need. Don't go for cuteness, go for scariness. Like the dog, no one's going to steal that car. It's one of them. Elections, well, local elections that nobody really cares about. Been and gone. Happened last Thursday, I think. Recently, anyway. But only this week, I didn't get one of these little things, but my wife did. To say, please vote for ... party. I'm not going to say which one, because I don't really like getting political. It is an interesting thing. This slip was actually addressed to my wife at our previous address, but we've had it redirected. So, okay, I'll give them some benefit there. It's going to be a bit of a delay from getting it from A to B. Fair enough. But it was one party having a go at the other party, saying, they're taxing you for taking your garden waste away. We won't do that. And I'm like, well, you recommended and have raised taxes and up the cost of living quite a bit. Energy bills, blah, blah, blah. To a ridiculous amount of money. Christ, I would have had a PlayStation 5 years ago. Please subscribe, like, share and all that jazz. I would have had one years ago. Date was released, but no. They done that. They raised taxes. So they're complaining about garden taxes, yeah? Take the rubbish away, you've got to pay so much. One party against the other. And our previous address, where it was originally sent to, we didn't have a garden. It was an apartment. We didn't have a garden for such things. So, we have now, but I've got a compost bin. Any garden waste, it goes in there. It's not a big garden, but any waste, compost bin. What I have to say is, how much money or lack of research they could have saved by not sending my wife useless information on useless things for something we don't even have that didn't apply to us in the first place. Because we didn't pay the tax in the first place, because all the charge, tax, whatever they were calling it, because we didn't have a garden to pay the tax in the first place. And I'm not paying the tax now because I've got a sensible and eco-friendly way of getting rid of said things because of that. Because we've got a compost bin. Greta Thunberg will be happy. She won't say, how dare you? She'll say, I dare you. Right at the end of the garden, stinks a bit. I'm grabbing my own potatoes as well. Even better. But what's annoying about that is, time, research and effort. And every election, it doesn't matter what election it is, I have a simple rule. The first poster or little card that says vote for ... party. For whatever reason, that is the party I do not vote for. End of. And without giving too much away of which party puts their little signs up for, it's normally the ones that never win. The ones that got in on the minority. Well, not on the minority, they had to sort of merge together to form a government. But yeah, they don't get anywhere. It's like the head of that party, I couldn't even tell you his or her name. I don't know. End of. God, I hate talking politics. Boring. There's enough going on in the world as it is anyway. What could possibly we have a whinge at now? In the space of a week, I managed to get a chest infection, so in this podcast, I'm going to sound a little bit different and a bit more horsey. And nothing to do with the 2 bottles of wine I drank the other night, but I'm just feeling a bit not so good. But just to end this particular podcast, I'm going to talk about a little article that I seen in the paper just the other day. Well, when I didn't buy the paper, I just walked past the newsstand and I just saw the headlines. Now, apparently, there's an average of the age when people leave the home. You know, from your mum and dad's and moving on. And apparently the average is 25. Well, the way things are going at the moment, that doesn't sound shocking. But if you're around the 24, 23, 22 region, don't worry. Because allegedly, because I heard this through the grapevine, from the source, as it were, apparently, my brother, who turned 40 this week, is still living with his mum. Allegedly. I don't know, I don't talk to him. Long story, which I won't go into. But apparently, I think he turned 40, because I'm such and such age, that makes him 40 this year. Sorry, I can't try to do this. It's a good job I'm not videoing myself doing this. It's difficult to keep a straight face. Apparently, he's still living with his mum and dad. Allegedly, so I've been told through the grapevine. So if you are about 23, you know, like, oh crap, I'm still living at home, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry. You work towards it. Times are bloody difficult right now. But remember, there's possibly a 40-year-old living with his mum. In fact, I know 50-year-olds who still live with their mum. And, well, he's not a nice bloke, but he has to live with his mum. So, chill out, work hard, you'll get there. I done it, alright, much later, but I've had many rented properties and then me and my wife have bought one. But there you go. We did it. If we can do it, and we're not on big salaries, you know, like, share, and subscribe and all that crap. You know, we're not on big salaries at all. We're both working class. And we've done it. We've bought our own place. She wants to do the garden and the bathroom and the kitchen, so like, share and subscribe. But don't worry, you'll get there. I think we'll end it on there. And we'll check you out later. Do all the subscribing stuff. Apparently I have to say that now. Adios. Have a good one.